What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV here. Another day, another manager linked with Spurs, another new favourite with the bookies to Spurs. And today we're going to be talking about Nuno Espirito Santo of Wolves. It's been announced today that he is leaving after the last game of the season, so he will have no club. And since then, the bookies completely ran with it, and we're now like in decimals 1.3 to join Spurs for next season. But on the flip side of that, Alistair Gold and The Athletic have poured extremely cold water on it.
Exactly. Alistair Gold saying Tottenham are not interested in making Nuno Espirito Santo as their manager next season. He's not a candidate. And Jack Pitbrook as well echoing those sentiments, saying that Nuno Espirito Santo will not be the Tottenham manager next season. And that was to the relief of a lot of the Spurs faithful, because as soon as the news broke that Nuno will be leaving Wolves at the end of the season, obviously a lot of Spurs fans put 2 and 2 together and got 8 because they assumed that means Nuno's pretty much nailed on to be joining Tottenham, and that got a lot of the Spurs fans worried, seeing as he's quite a defensive manager. He's not the one to play expansive football, and that got a lot of people worried. But it sounds like they were getting worried over nothing. Are they saying are the odds still short?
Still very short, yeah.
The odds are still very short, but from the reliable sources, it sounds like it isn't a goer.
Yeah, I mean, how did you feel when the news first broke? Would you want him? Would you like him as a Spurs manager?
Not particularly.
No?
I'd rather Graham Potter than Nuno for me. I like Nuno, wouldn't be high on my list. I think he's a good manager. I just don't think he's right for Tottenham, especially given that we wanted a manager to play more of a attacking style of football. That was obviously a part of our DNA, and that was one of the biggest complaints under Mourinho. We're too defensive and all that kind of stuff. And so if that's the case, Nuno's not the guy to go with.
But do you not think that maybe at a different club with a different kind of ethos, with a different style of play, that he can kind of use a different style of play? Because obviously Wolves, with the personnel they had there, maybe the style of football was suited to them.
Yeah, but that's his football, isn't it? I don't know. I mean, I didn't see much of him when he was at Valencia, but I don't think he's the kind of manager to get a team like possession-based football and get them playing attacking with attacking patterns and stuff like that. That's just not how I see Nuno. I think he's got good players there. Like he's got Neto, he's got Traore, he's got Ruben Neves, Moutinho, good football players. But especially this season, their football has not been good.
Yeah, this season I think they've been kind of stung very much so by injuries, with Raul Jimenez, who's basically pretty much their only striker. I know they brought in the kid from Porto, Fabio Silva, and Willian Jose a bit later on. But Fabio Silva, for my opinion, was way too young to start leading the line for Wolves. And, he's an 18-year-old kid coming in from Porto, so he was always going to struggle. Willian Jose is a different kettle of fish. He's nowhere near the level of Raul Jimenez, is he?
Of course not. Well, Raul Jimenez was one of the top strikers in the league when he got injured, and it was obviously an awful injury as well. So
for Raul Jimenez to go out for the whole season, pretty much like Kane being out for the whole season.
It is, and obviously that's difficult for a team like Wolves, but as well, like you've seen, when maybe a team who is more attacking, it doesn't affect those kind of teams as much as it does for teams who rely on the quality of their strikers. For example, the Kane being out affected us a lot more under Mourinho than it did under Pochettino because of their philosophies, and that's the difference. And that's why I just don't think Nuno would be the right choice for us.
I agree. I don't think Nuno is the right fit, but I can definitely tell you he's definitely a good manager. That's for sure.
Yeah, I'm not saying he's a bad manager,
but I just don't think he'd be suited for Spurs, what have you. But let's have a look at the managers, the odds, and let's see who. At the moment, Nuno is clear favourite.
Because it makes sense. Levy wouldn't have to pay any sort of fee for him. He's completely free. He's done a decent job. Done a good job, to be fair, at Wolves since he's got there past 3 years. So and also I think his agent might be George Mendes, and there's the whole
Mourinho's
thing.
Agent.
Exactly. So there's a whole relationship with Spurs, and we signed a bunch of Mendes players last time and all that kind of stuff. So it does all kind of make sense in that kind of respect. But I don't think it is going to happen.
And with what Levy was saying in his notes in the program, it just contradicts it all, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean it wouldn't make sense from in that respect either. And I just don't think it's a go. And then with Alistair Gold and Jack Pitbrook were both confirming that it's not going to happen. So I don't think this is a goer.
Does that put to bed the Sam Allardyce then?
Sam Allardyce, yeah, or why was he nailed on after exactly? It's interesting that his odds weren't slashed yesterday when he announced he was leaving.
And Claudio Ranieri as well is also
Claudio,
leaving it in season. He's got
they're all coming
Premier
out
League pedigree.
Redknapp's available. Shame we can't convince Manuel our retirement.
But let's look at the top 5 managers in the odds so far. So after Nuno, who's very much clear favourite, you got Simone Inzaghi. At the lowest odds you can get him at is 7-1. And then after that is Graham Potter. The lowest odds you can get him is 9-1. Then Brendan Rodgers at 12-1. Then Ralph Hasenhüttl at 16, and Roberto Martinez also at 16.
What did you say Potter was?
Potter was 9.
9-1. So he's Potter shorter than Martinez.
Yeah,
that's good.
But it seems as though nobody has a clue what's going on at Tottenham.
It's whether someone's going to emerge or is going to be one of those candidates. They're saying it's going to be one of these candidates, but I don't know. I'm really not sure who it's going to be at this point.
I've got a sneaky feeling it is going to be Ten Hag,
Yeah, apparently. So what I read, not sure where I read it. I'm not sure the source. What I read is he had a Zoom interview which didn't go well, but apparently they're also now planning to do an interview with him in person, for like a second chance kind of thing. So maybe there's some legs in that. And to be honest, if we had Ten Hag and Rangnick as sporting director and we sold Kane for big money, if we could mould the team in Ten Hag's vision with the recruitment of Rangnick, maybe that could be something that could get
Campos.
Maybe that's something that could be we could get some value out of that, maybe. But right now it's just difficult to see a way forward.
Yeah, it really is. But with Erik Ten Hag, he was, when I was speaking to Ajax fans, I mean, they say he's a good manager, a really good manager, but his personality stinks. Which is interesting. So maybe that's why his interview didn't go too well. Yeah,
maybe
makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
So yeah, those are the kind of names linked with Spurs at the moment. A few other managers underneath Martinez. Scott Parker, he's at like around 20-1. Hansi Flick, who I don't even know why he's in the odds because he's nailed on for the German job. And then Ten Hag, then Rangnick, then Rafa Benitez, and who's Thomas Frank? Thomas Frank is in there.
Thomas Frank. Wasn't he the Dortmund man? Thomas Frank. Can't remember who Thomas Frank was.
And Christophe Galtier, Eddie Howe, Antonio Conte.
Oh, Thomas Frank is the Brentford manager.
Oh, right.
He's done a very good job.
He has done a very good job, but still,
he also plays good football.
Untested in the Premier League, so I mean, not for me. But let's see how the playoffs goes for them. That's for sure. Anyway, I think if he gets them in the Premier League finally, he's going to want to stay there because he's been trying to get there for so long now, and he's failed at the last hurdle literally every time. So, look, good luck to him anyway. But those are the kind of options for manager at the moment. The kind of news of the day is Nuno Espirito Santo leaving Wolves at the end of the season, and that kind of brought the rumours really rife that he is joining Spurs, and then Twitter went into Spurs Twitter went into kind of overdrive, claiming that all the masterminds saying yeah it's definitely going to be him, it makes sense, but
no, it's
clearly it's not going to be him because Alistair Gold and The Athletic both pouring really cold water on it to much of our delight. So look, we're basically this video means
we're none the wiser.
Nothing because we still have no clue who is going to be our manager next year. We have the bookies have no clue, the hierarchy have no clue, the reliable journalists have no clue. So we'll have to see how this one plays out, but that is your update for today. Let me know in the comment section below which manager that I mentioned would you like to see at Tottenham for next season. Like, subscribe and comment, and as always, come on you Spurs.